The call center loomed in the distance as I drove down the dimly lit industrial road. It was an old factory, its red brick walls weathered by years of neglect. My headlights cast eerie shadows on the building's facade, and I couldn't help but shiver. This was where I would be working the midnight shift. I had always been a night owl, so when the opportunity came to work the graveyard shift at the old converted factory, I thought it was a perfect fit. The pay was decent, the job seemed straightforward, and I wouldn't have to deal with the hustle and bustle of daytime office life. Little did I know, my decision would lead me down a path of darkness and fear. On my first night, the building seemed quiet and unassuming, nestled in an industrial area on the outskirts of town. My supervisor, Sarah, gave me a brief tour, introducing me to a small team of co-workers who, like me, preferred working when the rest of the world slept. "Welcome to the midnight shift," Sarah said with a tired smile. "We handle customer inquiries and troubleshoot technical issues. It can be a bit slow, but it pays the bills." The hours passed fairly uneventfully during those initial shifts. My team and I sat in the dimly lit call center, wearing headsets and staring at computer screens. We dealt with the occasional irate customer or technical glitch, but for the most part, the night was quiet. However, as the weeks went by, I began to notice odd things happening during my midnight shifts. It started with subtle noises, a faint tapping on the windows, distant footsteps echoing down the empty hallways, and whispers just beyond the door of our call center. At first, I dismissed these as the natural sounds of an old building settling. But then, one night, I arrived for my shift and found the office supplies on my desk rearranged, as if someone had been there while I was away. I asked my colleagues, but they all claimed ignorance. The unease settled in my stomach like a lead weight. As the days turned into weeks, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. I began to notice fleeting glimpses of shadowy figures out of the corner of my eye, disappearing when I turned to look. My co-workers laughed it off, attributing it to fatigue and stress, but I knew it was something more. Things escalated when one of my co-workers, Jake, went missing during his shift. He had stepped out to grab a cup of coffee, and when he didn't return after an unusually long time, we went to check on him. His coffee cup sat abandoned on the break room table, still steaming. Panic rippled through the team as we launched a frantic search of the building. Hours passed, but Jake was nowhere to be found. The police were called, and they conducted a thorough investigation, but it was as if he had vanished into thin air. As the days turned into weeks, paranoia set in among the remaining night shift workers. We began to hear whispers of something more sinister at play, a malevolent presence that lurked in the shadows of the factory, the spirit of a former worker who had met a tragic end on the midnight shift. One night, as I sat at my desk, I felt a chilling breeze wash over me even though the windows were closed. I heard my name whispered, soft and insistent. Fear seized me and I hesitated to turn around, but curiosity got the better of me. There, standing in the dimly lit corner of the room, was a shadowy figure, its eyes fixated on mine. Terrified, I bolted from my desk and ran through the darkened hallways, the whispers and footsteps pursuing me. I stumbled upon an old storeroom and locked myself in, praying for morning to come. The police investigated the incident, but they found nothing. I quit my job shortly after that night, unable to shake the feeling that something malevolent still lurked within the old factory. To this day, I can't explain what happened during my midnight shifts, but I know I'll never work the night again without the creeping fear that I'm not alone in the darkness. Months passed, and I tried to put the eerie memories behind me, finding a new job during regular daytime hours. Life seemed to return to normal, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I had left something unresolved at that old factory.